Okay, so this is video 3 for our first video or first choice board for the second semester. So I just real quick wanted to go over some of the formats that we'll be using for submitting assignments. We're not using normal worksheets like we usually would. Usually by this time of year, I would have big giant stacks of dead trees in the form of paper, but we're not doing that this year for obvious reasons. That way I'm not touching a bunch of stuff and giving it to you. You're not touching a bunch of stuff and giving it to me. We're not spreading germs. By the way, I do have my mask here, but you're safe because my computer has antiviral software, so we're good, just saying. But so we submit stuff a little differently, obviously. If we're not doing worksheets and that kind of stuff, we have to get a little bit creative. So normally what we do on Schoology is I have a few basic formats that we've been using. The first one is sometimes I'll post things as Google Slides, and you're able to just open it, edit it, and then once you hit submit, I see your changes, and that's the end of that. Same with Google Sheets. It lets us do that too. But so mostly we have been using some of the Google stuff and Excel. So if you go to my Umble, wow, look, I thought ahead of time to go ahead and open it up. How genius. Not this is the second or third take of this video. Okay, so if you go to my Umble, you have all these things. I have more because I'm a teacher, so they give me a whole lot more stuff. But down here, a little towards the bottom, you have this thing called Office 365. Yours is usually like over in the middle of the screen somewhere or off to the right generally, but it doesn't matter where it is. It's orange. It's got this multicolor square right here, and it says Office 365. So if you click on that, it takes you to Microsoft Office Home. And you have options, and this is super handy because Microsoft Office has features that the Google stuff doesn't have, and generally it's faster. Also, like with Microsoft Word, it has features that Docs doesn't have, but Microsoft Word, I prefer the actual purchased one that you put on your computer as opposed to Office 365. The problem with Microsoft Word, if you're using Office 365, is you can't type equations. There's no equation editor. So if you're typing big, long reports for college, for a science class or a math class or something like that, and you need to insert equations, it's a whole lot easier to just straight up buy Microsoft Office and put it on your computer, because then you have all those editors built in. But we don't really need that right now. So for our purposes, Microsoft Office works just fine. And the good thing about it is that this is normally something that you have to pay for. So if you get this on your own, it's usually like, it's either $8 or $10 a month. But Humble ISD pays for this for us. So that's kind of handy. And it just, to me, it's faster and just works better than Google Sheets and Google Docs. I like it better. Yeah. Okay, so let's say you did an assignment, you did a whole bunch of math, and oh, wow, it's perfect, and now you want to turn it in. So the way you turn it in with Excel. So like if we did it on a Sheets, Google Sheets, and I included it in your assignment, you just hit submit and you're good. But on Excel, that's different. It's a separate program. So what you do is you go over to File. So notice we have all these tabs up here. Hooray. You go to File, and you go down here to Share. So if I go to Share, it gives me this option, Share with People. So I can invite other people to view or edit this workbook. So if I click on that, then I will go over here. You want to click, you have to make sure your share settings are set, because otherwise you'll submit it and I won't be able to open it. So you need this part right here to say anyone with the link can. This one says edit, but you can change that. So if you click on that, if you don't want me to edit, you just want me to look at it, you can go click or unclick. So now you're not allowing editing. So it says anyone with a link can view in this case. So you would apply it. So now it says anyone with a link can view. And then you would just copy. You could do it two ways. The easiest way is to copy a link. So you just click that button and then you click over into your Schoology assignment. If you put Control V or right click and paste, then that'll put the link right there. I'll be able to click it, open it, and I'll be able to grade it. Otherwise, you could just insert my email address. And if you don't remember what it was, it's on your week at a glance. Okay, so that's Excel. And that's the way you would submit it, something in Excel. Excel is super handy. I like it. It's my friend. Okay, so the other thing that we use mostly is the Google stuff. So I've seen this time and again. A lot of people will go and they'll say, like, say they want Google Sheets. They'll type up here, Google, and they search for it. That's like, that's what people who aren't in the know do. You got to be like in the know. So the cool kids go up here and they go www.google.com. If you go to just straight up google.com, you don't have to type in sheets or slides or sites or any of that. You just type google.com. And up here, this is amazing. You're welcome. You have all these dots. So you either have a picture if you've uploaded a picture, or you have like your initials or whatever. And right beside it, you have the dots. Some people call it a dot matrix. Some people call it like the app button, whatever. It's the dot. Click on that. And this pulls up all of the things that you would need. So let's say I wanted Google Docs. I would click on Google Docs. If I wanted Sheets, I would click on Sheets. If I wanted Slides, or if I wanted Sites. So the ones that we've been using so far is we've used Slides, we've used Sheets, and we've used Sites. Sites is a website. Like it's an actual like website through Google. It's kind of limited. It's way more limited than it would be if you were going through an actual like WordPress or something like that, like an actual like hosting service. But it's good to learn on. The basic principles are the same. You just don't have as much control over it. But we have used that in the past. We're probably going to use it again. Another thing that we're going to use this semester when we get into the statistics unit is forms, because this is a good way of doing surveys, collecting data without having to like walk up to people. What is your favorite color? You know, you've got it in your little form. You collect your data and it gives you the results in a nice handy spreadsheet. So there's that. There are other things, I don't know. Mostly we just use those. So those are the formats of the things that we've been using so far. Sorry. One thing that we do use sometimes is we do worksheets occasionally. Not very often. We'll probably do a little bit more this semester, but we're not going to do like the normal ones. We're not going to print them out. But what I don't want to do, normally I post them in PDF format. Make sure you pay attention to the directions on those. I don't want to use like a PDF, like an Acrobat editor or something like that. A lot of people try to do it, and then what happens is the answers kind of get weird and they get put into the middle of things and you can't figure out where the answers are. Like it gets really, really weird. So when we're doing a worksheet, make sure that you're doing the work on a separate piece of paper and not using a PDF editor. So don't do that. That's bad, okay? Okay, so I think you're all set. So basically for this week, we go in, we find our little choice board. You do all the things, watch all your little videos, and then you're going to go straight down to the one below it that says maroon. Oh, I didn't want to click on the test. Sorry. User error. Okay, so you're going to go straight down below the choice board. You're going to go and click on the maroon assignment. And then, so you'll do that first. And once you've done the maroon assignment, then you go to the yellow-gray assignment or the full board assignment. So that's pretty much all you need. Just make sure that every week you log in to Schoology, you look at the choice board, you do all the maroons first. This is kind of a bad example because this was a project, so you had to do all the maroons. But anyway, so you do all your maroon videos, you watch the videos, you go down, you do your maroon activity, and then do the assignments after that, and you're good.